Three friends, Alex, Ben, and Sarah, set out to camp in the woods on a crisp autumn evening. The forest around them was quiet, its serenity broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves. They built a fire, its warm glow pushing back the encroaching darkness, and looked up at a sky full of stars. As the hours passed, the fire's crackle softened and shadows deepened around their campsite. The night seemed peaceful, almost too still. They moved to prepare for sleep, their voices growing hushed as the fire's embers dimmed. Alex suddenly froze, his gaze fixed on the dense trees beyond the camp. A chill ran through him as he thought he saw movement in the shadows. For a moment, nothing stirred but the wind in the treetops. Then came a sound. Faint, deliberate footsteps crunching dried leaves. The group turned toward the noise, their unease mounting. From the shadows emerged a figure, a man, ragged and gaunt, his appearance disheveled and menacing. His eyes were wild, and his filthy clothing hung loosely from his frame. In his hand, a blade caught the firelight, its faint gleam making their hearts race. The man moved closer, his expression unreadable. Before the friends could react, he lunged. Alex raised his arm to shield himself, and the blade sliced through his skin. He stumbled, clutching his wound as blood seeped through his fingers. Ben and Sarah scrambled to help him, their movements frantic. The man hesitated, his gaze darting between the trio and their scattered belongings. His body seemed tense, but after a moment, he stepped back, retreating into the darkness without a word. His form vanished as quickly as it had appeared, swallowed by the forest. Ben tore off his shirt to staunch Alex's bleeding, while Sarah fumbled for her phone, only to discover there was no signal. Fear and urgency gripped them. They hastily grabbed their essentials, abandoning the rest, and began their retreat. The walk back through the woods felt endless. Every sound, the creak of branches, the rustle of undergrowth, heightened their terror. Their flashlights wavered in their trembling hands as they pressed on, driven by adrenaline and dread. At last, the forest thinned, and their car came into view as the first light of dawn stretched across the horizon. They climbed inside, locking the doors before catching their breath. Alex's injury was shallow, but left a deep scar, both on his arm and on their collective memory. The friends never returned to those woods. The man's hollow stare and the glint of his knife haunted their thoughts long after that night. Though they had escaped, the forest had forever changed them, leaving a shadow of fear that lingered long after the physical wound had healed.